Thank you, Linda. Have we had it yet? Have we had enough? Yeah. Are we ready to take back America? Yeah. I have been all over this state, and I've been all over this state because I want to take back our country. And I can only do it by working to take back Virginia. But I feel a surge coming out there from being around this Commonwealth this last week. And I want to tell you, I went last week to the opening of an education facility at Mount Vernon. They're opening a new thing to teach people more information about George Washington. And as I sat there, I started thinking about George Washington, and then my mind wandered to Thomas Jefferson and James Madison and James Monroe and George Mason, all of our founding fathers that are from Virginia. And I wondered, as they were up there watching down on what's happening in this country, what would they think about where we are today? And I will tell you, these are men that worked very hard to build a nation. They were radicals in their time. They tried to build a nation that was a democracy. It was very much an experiment, and it's going on today, but it needs to go in a different direction, because these people are not behaving the way I think our founding fathers had hoped that a democracy would happen. They wanted it to be of the people, by the people, and for the people. And that's not what we have today. Instead, we see divisiveness. We see any means that we can from Congress to divide us and to make the Democrats not count at all. And I will tell you, this Iraqi war, this is dividing us as nothing I've seen in years and years and years. And it's also breaking the bank, as someone up here said. But I will tell you, I know a little bit about war. I am not a veteran, but my husband was a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps. He was a friend of Jim Webb's, and he went to Vietnam. And before he went to Vietnam, the day before, we were together, but we were both so scared and frightened about that which we didn't know what would happen to him. And we knew second lieutenants in the Marine Corps didn't have much life expectancy when they went to Vietnam. So but he went, and he made it 67 days. And on the 67th day, he stepped on a 105-round artillery shell, landmine. It was an artillery shell that had been booby-trapped by the Vietnamese. It had been one of ours. But he stepped on that, and he lost both legs and 6 of his fingers. And he came home, and he made it 26 years after that, and then he took his life due to depression and constant pain. And I tell you that because as I hear about this war that we are now in, some years later, it's the same kind of war. We have learned nothing. Well, the only thing I will say we have learned is that we at least thank our troops now. In Vietnam, we used to spit on our troops when they came home. So we do thank our troops. But we still have troops over there that are being killed, and they're being maimed because of the IEDs and the lack of equipment, the properly equipped Humvees that they're driving. And it tears me apart to know that there are other families that are going through what I went through. And war does not just affect the soldiers that are over there. It affects their whole family. It affects relationships. It affects the children. And its effects last a very, very, very long time. And I wanted to go over to Walter Reed. I wanted to go several times and go see those troops and say, thank you for what you have done. But I can't go over and say everything's going to be all right. And I know I can't do that. But what we can do is elect Jim Webb to the Senate. And I'll tell you, what we need are more people serving in the Congress of the United States and the United States Senate who know about war, who will not vote to send our troops to war based on bad intelligence. They know how people suffer, and they will only send people to war as a last resort if we absolutely have to go to war. And there are all too few of those in the Congress and the United States Senate. And Jim Webb will be a voice of reason, sanity. He will be on his own. He will make his own decisions. And I am convinced that when he gets into the United States Senate, he will be our senator from Virginia, but he will be a leader of all 100 of those senators. They will all admire him. And I don't think that's the case with our current junior senator. So I hope you will all go out and work as hard as Linda said. Call all your friends, even call the friends that aren't your friends right now, and say, please go out and vote on Tuesday, and take all your neighbors, fill your car, and let's take America back. Yeah!